Let's talk. Hello, my lovelies. I'm so glad to be back. Today we're going to be talking about the truth, but also where I've been and where I see my channel going. So let's get started. Let's just talk about where I've been. So it's been about 2 years since I posted on this channel, and I think it's time to give y'all an explanation. So a couple months after my last YouTube video was uploaded, my dad was diagnosed with a terminal illness. He was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia. So my mom had to go to work because my dad was no longer able to, and I became my dad's full-time caretaker while being an athlete and in school. So during that time, I really didn't have much time to film vlogs and edit them. Going back into my senior year, my mom decided that it was best to move back to Texas to get help from family. At the time, because I was 18, my mom gratefully gave me the option of whether or not I wanted to go back to Texas or stay in Tennessee. I opted to stay in Tennessee because I feel like this was my true home. So my parents moved back to Texas, and thankfully, my friend at the time, her parents opened up their arms for me to live in their basement. So I ended up living in their basement for a year, and during this time, I was going to school, and I did vlog during this time as well, but my computer had a lot of issues. I had an old MacBook Air, and every time I would put footage on there, it would just tell me that it was full, and I would even go to Apple and clear everything off, and yet it still wouldn't work. So the love for my YouTube channel had to be put to the side for a little while. Then in the Christmas of 2023, I got a new MacBook, so I was able to use it for my vlogs. But I really didn't find any time to edit because I was just trying to figure out where I was going to go to college. I ended up going to college for a semester, and I realized that the college life was just not for me. I had bigger ambitions than getting a degree. After talking with my boyfriend and his family for a while, in December of 2024, they decided to let me move in because they didn't want me to go back to Texas. And I didn't want to go back either. At this time, I had still planned on going to college, but a different college. But with much thought about what my dreams were, I decided to drop out of college and to start my own fashion brand and be a full-time content creator. Luckily and gratefully, I'm surrounded by so many people who support me. So that's where I've been. But let's talk about where I'm going and where I see this YouTube channel taking over. So I'm currently living with my boyfriend and his family. Because I'm not in school, I have the opportunity to work full-time on being a content creator and my brand. I might do a separate video of my intentions of my brand, but that's not what we're talking about here today. So there'll be more vlogs and content about starting my own business. I have really missed being in front of a camera. But now, let's talk about the truth. There's some things that I've been hiding from y'all just from embarrassment. But if you follow me on social media, I've left y'all in the dark. Back in 8th grade, I was pursuing acting, singing, and modeling. But let's talk about it. So let's talk about modeling, where I've been, and where I plan on going. The last show I did was New York Fashion Week, and I absolutely loved it, but at the time, I was severely injured. I had torn ligaments in my ankle, and I still walked in New York Fashion Week with a busted ankle. But since then, and after healing, I just really haven't made it a priority to put myself out there. But I do love modeling, and it's something I do want to pursue full-time, so I'm going to be working harder to put myself out there. And also because I'm starting my own fashion brand, I get to have that opportunity as well to work them together. Now let's talk about singing. So the last thing that y'all were up to date about was I was making an album. I wrote all my songs when I was 13 and started working on them when I was about 13 to 14. Because of my scheduling and being a student, I wasn't able to put my full time into this. So I ended up finishing my album when I was around 16 or 17, and they were all ready to be released. But I gave it one more listen before I released it and decided that this just wasn't me. The music I created to me sounded like more of an old JoJo Siwa-esque vibe and very kiddish. And obviously, I was 17 about to be 18, so I had matured, so I never released the album. Now people have always told me, well Kaylee, can't you go back into the studio and recreate all your songs to how you like it now? Answer, yes and no. Working in a studio on an album takes a lot of money that I just don't have right now. And plus, the meaning behind those songs, I don't feel guide towards how I want my music to be styled now. So that means I would have to rewrite everything. So I still write songs, but currently at this point, I just don't see myself getting back in the studio or ever releasing that album. But if the opportunity arose, I would love to go in with a lot of the new songs I have now. Now it's time to talk about the one I was most embarrassed about. Acting. So the last thing I had posted on my social media was a video of me saying that I got the lead role in a TV series. Which is true. I did all of my auditions through Backstage, which is just a program with a whole bunch of casting calls out there from a whole bunch of different companies. So I sent in my first audition, got a call back, sent in a second audition, and then I was told I got the lead role. At this time, we were told that it was going to be streamed on a well-known platform and that the director was a very well-known director. So we were told that it was going to be streamed on YouTube TV, but after doing a reading over Zoom of our scripts, we then learned that it wasn't YouTube TV and just simply YouTube, and the big director was simply just a kid trying to chase his dreams. So obviously I never posted about it because I was embarrassed. I made it a big deal that I had gotten the role. We still decided to go on with production, but however, after dates that we just couldn't line up or just money in general, it fell through and it was never filmed. But the question is, do I see myself acting in the future? Do I love acting? Yes. Do I see myself pursuing it? At this moment, not right now. I have other dreams and ambitions, and I really want to work full-time, full force on my brand. So that's where I've been and where I'm going. I hope you guys enjoyed this so much. Thanks for watching. Remember, you are loved, you are worthy, spread kindness, and spread love. Until next time, later, my lovelies.